Dakota, are you sure this is what they need? I mean, they have such low self-esteem. That's gotta make them anxious. And wouldn't waking up in our basement like this, waking up in a completely different environment, make them even, more anxious? That's gotta be the last thing they need, right?
It's okay, Dallas. Just trust me, I've seen their browsing history. It's full of videos like, your yandere loves that you're lazy, or yandere vampire can only drink your blood, or hot yandere singles in your area. They love yanderes. This isn't the last thing they need, it's the first thing they need. The two of us will be great for building their self-confidence.
He has been asleep for a while now. Should we wake him up? He looks still so sleepy though.
They're not sleepy, just tired. There's a difference. Oh, speak of the devil. Hey there, did you have a good nap? I hope you did. Do you recognize the two of us? I'm Dakota, and this is Dallas. We're the two sisters that sent you about 1,000 text messages each hitting on you. I'd admit maybe we overdid it just a little bit. We probably should have stopped at 100 or so each. It wasn't our proudest moment.
I don't know. I was pretty proud of it.
Not now, Dallas. You're not helping. Anyway, do you know why you're here? Well, actually, scratch that question, because it's pretty obvious. You're here because we kidnapped you. What? No, we're not here to ransom you. Why would we ever sell you? You're worth more than all the money in the world. And for the record, what you said is not true. People definitely will be willing to pay for your ransom. I mean, Dallas, how much would you pay for their ransom if they were ransomed to you?
Well, that depends. How much is the bank willing to let me borrow? Also, how secure are the bank's anti-haste measures?
See? You are worth so much. You're worth a king's ransom. You are precious, precious, precious.
You were too precious for us to tie up even. We could never risk giving those lovely wrists of yours rope burn. Though you look a little too tired to be going anywhere anyway, so it doesn't exactly seem necessary. No offense. You actually look great, especially when you're sleeping.
Yeah, Dallas and I, we respect you. But we haven't exactly been the most respecting of your privacy. That's why we had the cameras in your room.
And the recording devices.
Right. We can't be forgetting the recording devices. That's actually how this whole thing started. See, Dallas and I would often listen to you while you were eating breakfast or doing chores or falling asleep.
We would listen to you all the time, basically.
Right. We would always be listening in on you and whatever you were doing. It is honestly one of our favorite pastimes. But since we were always listening to you, there was a certain pattern to your words that we couldn't help but notice.
We noticed you were always putting yourself down. You were always saying things like, I'm useless, I'm trash, I can't do anything. Which is not true. You're not useless. And if you can't do anything, then how can you give Dakota and me so much happiness in our lives, huh? Checkmate.
And it's due to the lack of self-esteem that we kidnapped you here today. Well, I wouldn't really call it kidnapping, since you aren't even tied up. You can leave whenever you want. Well, okay, you can't leave right now. We just at least need to talk to you first. But you can leave in a little bit. So it's more like a temporary kidnapping. Yeah, this isn't a real kidnapping. It's only temporary. So it doesn't count.
What Dakota's trying to say is that we care about you. We noticed that you aren't treasuring yourself the way you deserve to be treasured. And since Dakota and I both love you very, very much, so much that we made a dating simulator about you, it's only natural that we brought you here to give you the support that you need.
Right. I don't know if you read all the text messages we sent you. Well, there's no way you did, right? There were over 2,000 of them, but if you did, you see that some of the messages were inviting you just to talk, because we wanted to discuss this with you. What we're discussing right now.
The discussion of how you need to properly value yourself. Take your room for instance. It's not the neatest place. Now, don't be too harsh on yourself. What you're going through right now is wrath. We can tell.
Because we're always watching you.
Right. Because we're always watching you. Affectionately, I might add. But because you're going through such a rough time right now, it's having some negative effects on you. One of which is that you might find it hard to keep your room clean. But don't worry. This rough time you're going through is just temporary, and Dakota and I are here to help you get through it. So, why don't we start small? Even baby steps are still a step forward. And that's a very big deal. For starters, why don't we clean up your room, huh? With the three of us, it'll get done in no time, and the act of getting everything all neat can really be good for your mental and emotional health. It can make you feel like you're taking control of your life, which you are. And it's no problem for Dakota and me to help with cleaning up your room. In fact, it's only fair. I mean, we practically live there half the time since we like to sneak in when you aren't around and roll around in your blanket.
And cleaning your room aside, we need to do something about that constant self-insulting you do. Now, as embarrassing as this is for me to say, you are our wholesome cinnamon bun, so we can't tolerate any disrespect towards you. You know we love you. I mean, we spent so much money on burner phones to get around you blocking our numbers. We'd only spend all that money for someone we love. And since we love you so much, we are very, very protective of your honor. So, when someone insults you, what do you think we do to them?
I'll give you a hint. It's highly illegal.
Correct. We do highly illegal things to people who insult you, because it is so wrong for you to be insulted. And that includes when you insult yourself, so don't call yourself useless. Don't call yourself a piece of trash whenever those self-hating thoughts pop up in the back of your head. Don't internalize them. You stab those thoughts right in the pancreas. You stomp on those thoughts while they're on the floor. Burn gasoline over the graves of those thoughts. Send threats to anyone who dares to go to their funerals for those.
Dakota, I think we get the picture.
So we do.
Whenever some of those negative thoughts come up, it would be healthy to address them. Whenever you feel like there's nothing good about yourself, why don't you tell yourself something positive about yourself? I'm sure you must have some wonderful traits. I mean, we know you do, since we stalk you and worship the very ground you walk on. But this is about you. Why don't you think hard about something you can love about yourself? Please, there's plenty of things that are good about you. Just off the top of my head, you've got great taste, don't you? By loving yanderes, I don't know of anyone more cultured than you. And that love, that glorious angelic love, that's another wonderful thing about you. It's the cutest thing Dakota and I have ever heard.
And we've heard a lot of cute things after all. We specifically watch kitten meowing compilations sometimes.
Yep, but your laugh is the cutest thing we've ever heard. It's cuter than the sound of baby birds chirping. It's cuter than the bleating of a baby lamb. It even sounds cuter than that time Dakota did their best Neeko impression. Cat pants and everything.
You promised you wouldn't tell them.
Sorry, Dakota. Right now, emotionally supporting him is more important than your comfort. I might even show him the video.
I hope the video was at least taken at a good angle.
It was. Anyway, back to the point I was trying to make. You're cultured. Your laugh is cuter than a baby deer convention. There are so many good things about you that you'd do good to notice. You could just use some outside help with opening your eyes.
Fortunately for you, we're outside help. And as part of that help, we developed this little PowerPoint slide that can sort of act as a blueprint for what directions you might want to take in your life moving forward. It's not set in stone or anything, it's all just a suggestion. We need input from you too, of course. We want to help you, not control you.
Well, we do want to control you, actually. That way you could never leave us. You would be ours, forever. But controlling you wouldn't necessarily be the best for your emotional health. So we're putting a lid on that little desire of ours.
Right. We're trying to not be too controlling, but obviously we aren't perfect. I mean, we did kidnap you after all. We make mistakes after all, but it's okay, because whenever we make mistakes, we make sure to properly punish ourselves. We always like to keep watch over you, to make sure you're safe every second of the day. So when one of us sleeps, the other one takes watch.
We don't always switch shifts perfectly, though. Sometimes one of us falls asleep when we shouldn't, and then there are periods of time where neither of us is watching you, where neither of us are making sure you're safe.
But whenever something like that happens, we make sure to not eat anything for the day, to remind us we need to be more dutiful to you.
You want us to stop punishing ourselves?
But you don't exactly properly take care of yourself either. There are moments where you commit self-sabotage.
Tell you what, we'll stop being so hard on ourselves if you'll stop being so hard on yourself.
Yeah, we'll take care of ourselves if you'll take care of yourself too. So, what do you say? Is it a deal? Then it's a deal.
If you enjoyed the video and you would like to see more to support the channel, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Or just like it. Or I come to your house and click the button for you. Check out the description for commission information and the Discord link, and if you'd like to help out, fill out the form. 𝗷𝗶𝗶𝗹𝗀𝗀. Thank you for your continuing service as my subscriber.